The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5, particularly Monroe County, and we begin with an honor roll of high school teams. At number 3 this week, we have the HFL boys soccer team, which is off to a 6-1 start at last glance, was ranked number 1 in the state in Class A. At number 2, the Irondequoit boys volleyball team, flying among the sectional giants in the sport, very quietly, the Eagles are 7-0. And at number 1, Brighton field hockey. The only blemish on the Barons' record so far is an early season scoreless tie with Mendon. Brighton has outscored its opponents this year 26-1. Which brings us to Pittsford Sutherland High School, which graduated the state's top volleyball player last year. You'd think there'd be a drop-off. You might be wrong. Here's Dan Fetes.
Over the last few years, in the world of girls volleyball, few programs have done it better than Pittsford Sutherland. Last year was no different. Sectional championship? Check. State title? Check.
It was a year of hard work. We came back to the gym, we had expectations, we set them high, and we got better every single day.
Last year is one of those teams where, you know, it's a dream season. Everything kind of just folded out the way you wanted to, and it's one of those seasons that you'll never be able to match up to. Our seniors did a great job last year leading our team on and off the court.
To say last year's team was good wouldn't do it justice. Maybe saying that they were 45-0 and that they only dropped 3 sets all season does. They were led by the player of the state, Luisa Schermer. Schermer graduated and is now starting at Ohio State.
She was one of the best players I've ever played with, and she was able to still be humble and help us out when we were having trouble, or push us when we needed to be pushed, and I loved it.
One word I summed up with Luisa: she's a role model. You know, she touched a lot of people's lives. A lot of these kids will never forget that kid, not just for her volleyball ability, but for who she is as a person and what she does for each and every one of these kids on and off the court. You know, every day in practice we talk about her, you know, and the kids smile about it, no one gets jealous about it, and it's like Luisa remains in this gym.
As the Knights approach a new season, they're not looking back at last year's state title. They're sticking with what's worked. They're staying in the moment. What's different about this year's team? How'd you guys prepare?
Though we lost her, a lot of other people stepped up, and we work together more. We work as a team because that's how we know we're going to be successful.
Last year we knew that we were the best team from day one, and this year we have to prove to people now that we don't have Luisa, which is a standout, but we can still gel as a team, which people don't see as much, but we play really well together.
Luisa Schermer helped instill a culture at Pittsford Sutherland that isn't likely to end. And you've just seen that success breed from the past few years, and a culture is kind of building here.
Absolutely, it's a way we live in this gym in Pittsford. You know, we got to play hard.
When we return, it is off to HFL and Bernie's boys when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now for our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3 this week, we have from the Wilson High School football team, Dimitri Richardson. Wilson is 3-0 in the Rochester City League and beat HFL in a non-league game. Dimitri scored twice on runs of 50 and 70 yards. At number 2, Pittsford men and boys soccer star and the wearer of the honor number 9 this year, Ryan Aspenleiter, had a goal and an assist in the Vikings' 2-0 win at HFL. The Cougars were undefeated. And at number 1, 2 more Vikings. They're tennis players, Marian Zaffer and Jenny Chen, Menden's third doubles team. But they were the difference after losing the first set, securing a decisive win in a 4-3 victory over Brighton in a battle of unbeaten teams. Those depth players sometimes make a big impact. Which brings us to HFL, where a couple of Cougars attempt to fill the cross-country talent void. They're Bernie's boys. It is part of the ever-changing landscape of high school sports. Nowhere is that more apparent this year than in cross-country, especially on the boys' side. Gone are Irondequoit's Josh Derland, Hilton's Tyler Renke, and the great Mickey Burke, who last year won the McQuaid Invitational, the cream of an outstanding class of great runners.
Yeah, it looks to me like across Section 5, it's like, it's next. And next is, every team is next. Because, like I say, like a Mickey Burke's gone, some of the great individual runners and teams have now become, can you hang on to what you had, or now is it somebody else's turn?
Gardner has some candidates. Senior Matt Geraci, who missed this practice, is joined by a couple of promising underclassmen. Junior Coleman Roach joined Geraci on last year's All-Greater Rochester team, making HFL the only team with 2 returning honorees.
I didn't start running until I was in high school, so I didn't know much about it. And, my brother had a huge influence on me, obviously, with his success, and he's running at Canisius now. But, I didn't know much about it and happened to be pretty good at it, so I stuck with it and made AGR, and I was pretty pumped about that.
Roach has actually been outrun by fellow junior Jackson Tate this year so far. Tate was the first non-qualifier for states last year. There's your motivation.
I finished my sectionals race. I had my best time all year, but I came within 3 seconds and I missed states barely. So that was tough.
You're running well, though, this year, aren't you?
Yeah, I put in a lot of miles this summer. I was doing at least 55 miles a week, so I feel like I'm in good shape and I'm ready to roll.
Jackson is quite the track shoe aficionado. He owns 17 pair.
I got the Nike Zoom Elite 7s on today, and I wear those. They're my daily trainer, and I stick with those. Good high mileage, good cushion, good rebound.
Now, as far as the other 16 pair, are some for different things, like you wear them on occasions?
Yeah, like I have 2 or 3 pairs of spikes I use for track and interval workouts. Racing flats, I've got trail shoes, I got everything covered, basically.
Your parents okay with this?
Yeah, because most of it comes out of my pocket. I mean, they're not funding it. It's a tough hobby, absolutely.
The Cougars are all brought together by Bernie Gardner.
Bernie's my man. He's a great guy, knows a lot of people, shows us a lot of, inspirational videos, and he knows how to pump you up.
A 3-sport varsity coach at HFL who wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I call it the circle of life because you have cross-country running, and that gives you the base for skiing, which gives you the base for track. And then I go to New Zealand in the summer, and they train on their own. So that's how I regroup.
Plays of the week in high school football, and later on, our all-sports high school game of the week when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now to check in with our top 5 high school football plays of the week just past, brought to you in fabulous HD this year by Varsity Media. Here are our high school football plays of the week, our top 5. And at number 5, we take you to Irondequoit. Brockport at Irondequoit. And Sean Mannion of the Eagles, passing to Antonio McIntyre, who makes a really sweet one-handed catch. We're being dragged down. We'll take another look. Nice catch, Irondequoit. A loser in that game, Brockport by a point in the battle of a couple of pretty good teams. King Canandaigua, Victor is at Canandaigua. The double reverse. It goes Schaefer to Broomfield to Coyne to Castine, who at the end of this play can't hold on to the ball. Victor winds up with the ball back. Jamie Trimboli with the fumble recovery. At number 3, it's Pittsford at Fairport. And for Pittsford, the guy they're going to use a lot this year, Josh Mack, at a 272-yard game, 20 rushes and scored 4 touchdowns. That, the best of them, going 63 yards. At number 2, a lot of points put up when Spencerport played Hilton. Hilton, a 56-27 winner. Zach Thorpe to Justin Rescue into a crowd. Rescue pulls it down for a 40-yard touchdown reception. Hilton, a winner, 56-27, as we said. And at number 1, Rush Henrietta goes back-to-back weeks with our top play of the week. Penfield playing at RH, and it's the quarterback, Jared Gerbino, weaves his way through the defensive backfield for 48 yards and a touchdown run. Rush, a 55-14 winner. Support the kids. Pick in a high school game of your choice sometime this week. Here's some of the best the schedule has to offer. On Monday, girls golf powers Mercy and Pittsford take on Shadow Lake. Tee-offs are at 3:30. On Wednesday, there's girls soccer in Webster against Webster. It's Thomas and Schrader, and they're 2 of the top-ranked large school teams in the state. Boys soccer on Thursday, we're back at Schrader where the Warriors host defending Section 5 champion Fairport. The best football game of the weekend is Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Pittsford is at Aquinas. Some of the best in Section 5 this week. The best in 2 classes. It's boys high school soccer in our all-sports high school game of the week when the Vision Automotive Group's high school sports beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for the Vision Automotive Group's high school sports beat. I'm Bill Pucko. They came in as the top-ranked Section 5 soccer teams in 2 separate classes. Brockport in Class A1, Webster Thomas in Class AA. The showdown was under the lights. Here's Pat Fahey.
The last Brockport-Thomas match was more than 6 years ago. It was in the postseason. The stakes were high, and both coaches remember it well.
I think it was 2008. We were just talking before the game, and I think it was a PK finish to go to the States and play Buffalo was the last time we played. And I just had an ex-player of mine over there, recounting the time when we did that and how exciting it was. Both really good teams. I remember it was a very even game, and it just came down to the end with PKs.
They beat us 2-1 in overtime in the sectional finals, and we haven't seen them since. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes today. We know a little bit about them. They know a little bit about us, but this should be a wide open game.
Brockport came into the 2014 season under the radar. Unranked, really unnoticed. But now 6 games in, undefeated. Outscoring opponents 18-5 in the first 6 matches and putting 3 times as many shots on goal as the opposition.
It's been a little bit of a surprise to us, but again, the kids have been working hard. We've made a lot of progress, right from the preseason up to the present time, and we're not a surprise to anybody else anymore, and they're not a surprise to me. And they've earned it, and they've worked hard, and we just got to keep things rolling.
An East-West showdown at sundown on Titan turf. In the second minute, Brockport's center back and assist leader, Anthony Montanaro, he fires. Nico Langelotti fouls the shot and puts the rebound in the back of the net. 1-0 advantage Blue Devils.
We just wanted to come out strong and put our foot down to the gas pedal and keep going. And they played great early. They had good defense. Their center backs were playing well together. We just got a nice break off the goal and finished it.
5 minutes later, in the 7th minute, Titans senior stopper Elijah Jarvis sends a beautiful through ball to leading scorer striker Ben Slapelis. He rifles it high, and a sigh of relief from goalkeeper Jake Mitchell. Brockport countering. Blue Devil midfielder Carl McNulty working on the right side. Goes far post, and at the 10-12 mark of the first half, the junior midfielder drives it over the Thomas keeper and puts the Titans on their heels with a beautiful goal, 2-0 Brockport. Just 13 seconds later, still in the 11th minute, Brockport leading scorer junior Jason Hayes rockets a long shot on goal.
I flicked it over one of my friends, Elijah Jarvis, and it was one of the better goals of my life. It was just amazing.
Less than a minute later, Webster's Kyle DeBrine on a direct kick. And there'll be no rebound as Mitchell smothers the shot. Jake's been splitting time and goal with his best friend and classmate, Nick Frito. The Blue Devil junior goalies have only allowed a combined 5 goals in their first 6 games. Inside 6 minutes left in the first half. Thomas keeping the pressure on. Zach Caruso to Trevor Knopfler. Mitchell there with the save again. The first half ends 3-0 Brockport.
Okay, you took a shot in the head, didn't you? That's pretty much what that amounted to. This is the chance for you to learn from it. Take it at that. The game's going to be quick, and they're going to have 2 men on the outside. What do? We have 2 men on the outside corner kicks. You don't send one. How many chances have you had? So let's look at the positive there for a second. How many scoring chances have you had? 10? Legit chances? Yeah. They're there. Let's go. This is on Ryan Canham. Let's do it.
Thomas on 3. Thomas on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thomas!
All right,
down. At halftime, we were talking about like what we could do better, and we just needed to settle down, and we could win this game because I felt like our team has enough talent to win it, but we just weren't in the game. Like our heads weren't in the game, and we just had to calm down.
Early in the second half, the Titans trying to penetrate the Devil defense, pressing midfielders, yet Mitchell gets the stop. A minute later, Slapelis takes a pass, desperately trying to get on the board and cut the Brockport lead. He turns, shoots. Jake Mitchell again with the save.
I felt like it was a desperation kind of shot because I didn't have enough of a hit on it. It was just kind of going by me as fast as it could. So I struck it and got nothing on it, and it was pure desperation.
Yet still with over 31 minutes to play, pure desperation gets some inspiration when Jarvis feeds Chance Nadrich, who breaks through the defense, breaks down a nice goal for the Titans in the 48th minute.
I knew I could beat him with my right foot, and in the middle is kind of my strong foot. I like going from the left side and cutting inside, and then, I sliced it across the ball. Luckily, I got some curve on it, slipped in near post. It's a nice goal to start.
With the lead cut to 2, things got physical. Just midway through the second half, Titan junior striker Cam Lynch shoots. Slapelis redirects the shot past Jake Mitchell, and for a moment the 2-goal lead appeared to be cut in half, but the captain was offside. The Titans keeping the pressure on. Thomas's Nate Reek feeds Colton Goodwine.
I saw him dribbling down the center, top of the box, and I was just waiting for him to slide. I started making my run, waiting for him to slide it through, and I knew I just had to get something on it. Just a little bit on it to get it through and try and score. Just hit the post.
And that's as close as the Titans would get. The match ends 3-1 Blue Devils. This undefeated squad has had to make some adjustments, play through adversity through the first half of the season. Just 2 games prior, Brockport lost a leader and defensive anchor. Senior back Tom Reynolds sidelined for the remainder of the senior varsity season. Coach Zorn moved his center midfielder Anthony Montanaro back to try to fill Reynolds' shoes.
And I don't know, I just like to tighten things up back there and felt I did a good job. They were a good team though. They came at us pretty hard in the second half.
At least when it comes to wins and losses. For the Vision High School Sports Beat, I'm Pat Fahey.
Coming out of that game undefeated, Brockport then lost to Churchville Chili. If you want a copy of this program or any of the other previous episodes of the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat, you'll find them on ClassyWolf.com. Big thank you to our partners and friends at the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible, as do you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.